Now, after an avalanche of concerned emails about the budget's changes to superannuation, we've decided to throw the phone lines open to anyone to ask a question. And it doesn't matter how self-interested it is, all super questions will be answered. Call us on 1300 30 34 35. 1300 30 34 35. To help me, my colleague Paul Rickard from the Switzer Super Report is here to ensure you get a double-barrel view on these worrying budget proposals. Paul, while we're waiting for calls, a lot of people have contacted us and have been worried about this. What do you think were the good things in this budget rather than the bad things?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of angst out there, and we'll go through that. There were some good things, Peter. I think probably the most positive thing is actually getting rid of the employment test. So anyone up to 75, working or not working, can make a contribution to super. Previously, that cut off at 65.
Yep.
You had to pass a work test. So that's a real positive.
Yep.
Allow people to get some more money into super. The other positive that came with that, Peter, is they removed the question about the test around who can get a tax deduction for making a contribution to super. This is up to the 25,000 cap. So, look, if you don't have an employer, you'll be able to make effectively a concessional contribution and get a tax deduction.
What was the limit before?
Limit was up to the cap before, but you had to meet the work. You had to, as a small business, you had to have no more than 10% of your income from employment sources. So it's actually opened that way.
Oh, okay. So there's no differentiation. Yeah, we've got a caller already. So, Dean, welcome to the show. First caller ever. Okay, so what's your question, mate?
Well, my question is, I currently have $5 million in super, and I'm required to draw a pension of 5%, so $250,000 a year. Come the 1st of July in 2017, as I understand it, I will only have to draw 5% of the 1.6 million, which is the cap. The other 3.4 million, is there any way I can keep that in super by paying the 15% tax?
Yeah, that's a good question, Dean. So congratulations on having $5 million in super.
Yeah, we have worked hard for it too, I bet.
So the answer to that question is yes. You should be able to take it from the 1st of July in 2017. You'll be required to get back to 1.6, and if you roll $3.4 million back to what we call an accumulation account, that'll stay in super. You'll pay tax on the earnings inside that accumulation account at 15%. But there shouldn't be, and they haven't actually given us all the regulations yet, there shouldn't be any minimum drawdown applying to that $3.4 million.
How's that, Dean? Okay, right. Well, that's a good answer, Paul. Dean's off the line now. And remember, if you've got any questions, ask us. It's your opportunity to ask any question you like on super and the budget changes. An important point on that area, and a lot of people wouldn't understand this. Okay, imagine you've got $2 million in super. You've got to pull it back to 1.6. That 400,000 could go in accumulation mode, as you said, tax at 15%, or you can take it out altogether and do whatever you like with it. But what happens if, say, for example, on that 1.6, you get a nice 10% return in a year and you're over 1.6? Do you have to draw that extra amount of money out?
No. Well, look, if you get back to the 1.6, it'll be obviously subject to the minimum pension factors. So up to, at age 65, an example like Dean, it's 5%, and that goes up. It changes again when you turn 75, and those factors go up. So as I said, the balance should be able to, you need to take out should come down will come down, Peter. Yeah,
but if you're really performing well on the stock market, that balance could creep up to $2 million again. Yeah, my question is, do you have to keep drawing out? No, that's the point. I think
that's right. It's not actually on a balance. So it's a 1.6 limit or cap on the amount that's transferred. So it's a transfer cap. So once you put $1.6 million into what we call the retirement phase, that balance could go up to $2 million or $2.5 million if you're a great investor and be okay.
And still taxed at 0%? Still
taxed at 0%.
That's an important point. I think a lot of people wouldn't understand.
Conversely, it could go down to $1 million and you won't be able to put any more money into it.
You're still taxed at 0%.
But of course, once it goes into the retirement phase, you'll be subject to the minimum drawdown factors. Yep. For someone at age 65, that's currently 5% per annum. So if you had $1.6 million in there, they'd need to take out at least $80,000 per annum. Yep. So they might be a really successful investor, but because they've got to keep taking money out each year through a pension, they're probably not going to accumulate you know, vast sums on top of the 1.6 million.
Yeah, okay, good point. Now we're going to an ad break. Remember, we're coming back after the break. Paul's going to stay here. We've got 10 or 12 minutes to go. So if you've got any questions, make sure you give us a call. Back in a moment.